Chineesium oil cup, you have been charged with the following crimes: poor fitment, low quality, and perhaps the most serious of all, raising my blood pressure to an unhealthy level, to which I had to eat a salad at one meal to bring it down instead of delicious salted fried meats. How do you plead? It is the decision of this council that you shall be smashed until dead. Do you have any final words? Very well. May God have mercy on your bowl. You will never do to another person what you did to me. You are rust, and to rust you shall return. Consequently, before we get started, I'll just give you a little heads up. If you go into the Dollar Tree and buy 6 plungers and a bunch of candles, people ask questions. So, be ready. Alright, welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Rouse the Oliver Man. And since you've last seen the 1365, it has underwent some changes. I have got it back on 4 wheels for the first time in who knows how many years. Got my weight bracket cleaned up, put back on. Got my grill started working on. I think I just pretty well accepted the amount of dents that are in it from here on out, but I got it pretty good. I welded it up the other day so it was more rigid, and it hopefully won't bend anymore. And I took out the grill inserts to clean it up, and that is when I learned something about these grills. There are 2 basic styles of these grills you see, and in fact, they are the exact same grill. Oliver took the other grill and they cut out all the bars, as is evidenced by this rough pattern. They cut the bars out of this section to put in that grating, and then they cut the tabs off here so that top grate would fit in so that it would match the theme of the 4-digit tractors. And I believe that was done at the factory. I mean, this was not a replacement grill here. This is actually, the way they did it, which makes sense. They didn't really tool up a new piece. They just made a couple of these grates out of cast aluminum, which consequently, if you heat, you cannot position it back. Unless you made some type of form, maybe you could get it done. Because when you heat it up, all at once it turns to liquid, and then that's it. So, excitingly enough, I found a new old stock one of these, which is the bottom one, which is the one that's in the worst shape. And the top one, I think we can salvage. I'll go get it. It's hanging out here. I guess we can look at it out here. But it's not, this is just like the primer coat, but it's got one little sag to it. Ignore my trash pile that I didn't get hauled away, but it's got a little bit of a bow in it, which will be on the very top in the center, and I don't think it will be too badly noticeable. I mean, you'll see it, but hey, do what you do. So I was happy that I could at least find the bottom one. And at some point, I may order a reproduction grill screen and cut the bars out of it, just like they did to this one, and move on. But for now, we're going to go with this one, because I have it. So today's big goal, I really want to drive this thing. I don't know if that'll be in this video or not. I have not driven it yet, even though the temptation is great. I did, however, sit on the seat and play with the controls and turn the steering wheel. But anyway, like I said, I really want to have it together so that it's very exciting when it exits. But to do that, for this next piece of sheet metal, we need to get this fuel tank put in for keeps. So I'm going to take this back out, and then I am going to line whatever looks like it's going to rub with some, what I use all the time on everything is this, which now I can't get out of the bag. But any type of exhaust wrapping or whatever seems to be good stuff for that. So that's not the brand I usually use. The kind I usually use is tan colored, so I'm sure this is the same stuff. Who cares? It'll work. So we got to put that in, and we can strap it down and finish connecting stuff up. The only thing that makes me nervous about doing this is I still need to get my gauge whenever it comes in, and I need to replace this other gauge, and I'm just hoping that I can get in there once I put this other piece of sheet metal on. I know I can lift it up, and maybe I can unhook it off of the steering. I think it's enough of a gap that you could actually kind of roll it out of there a little bit and work on it. But step one, most important, is fuel tank. So we're not getting it done by talking about it, so I guess let's get at it. There's really no plan, as per usual, because not prepared ever, but we'll try to shut the fuel off, which is down on the opposite side of the injection system, and we'll try to get our little clamp back off that we put on. Hang our tack cable out of the way, our new one. Get our fuel sender wire. Let's pinch it in here so it's junk. Perfect. And now we will unclamp our fuel, which looks like it's been leaking. Excellent. I don't know why it would be, but why wouldn't it be, you know? That appears to be... Oh, it's apparently... the hose has become structural. That's excellent. Okay, so we're draining and making a mess. Perfect. We couldn't do better than that. Okay. Hopefully that will stay out of the way. This is not hooked to anything right now. I just have had it laying on there for, I don't know why, fun, maybe. Take these back off. I should have just done this the first time before I put the tank in, but I wasn't sure if I'd have to take it out again anyway to get stuff where it needs to go, which consequently I do have some wires that need to go underneath after looking at that other tractor, the mate to this. Come on over there. You wouldn't think brand new stuff would be on there so tight, but in fact it is. That hose looks dry. Apparently I have not run it long enough to totally fill everything up. Interesting. Maybe it just drains back. Now, I think this would be a good time for test number one of, can this fold out of the way with this on there? Ooh, okay, that part will fold down, which would kind of give us more access. I think this will work. I don't know what I'm all destroying or dropping out of here, but in very ungraceful fashion, that seems to be working. The temptation is to somehow hold it where it's not going to be in terrible shape. Oh, that's actually more full than I remember. Okay, well, this ain't going great. already. I can tell you that. What my problem is, you can't see. But the little drain cocky thing was not playing nice. Now, here's the hole that we have left behind by, you know what I'm trying to say? Sure. Those wires needed to go in there, but these wires, which now have fallen out of my grasp, are wires for headlights. And what these are, as far as I can tell, they are the wires that go to both fenders, the two tail lights, which I think are the blue one, the flashers are green, and yellow is the white tail light, which I just broke the insulation on. Excellent. The other two wires, the two headlights, see, because the European tractors had them on the front, and this was unique, are these two wires in this plastic loom. And they will go to each front white light. And they are somehow already plumbed into our wiring, and I don't know. They're all fixed up. I don't have to worry about them. However, these, I foolishly thought went here like to our key switch somehow, but they do not. They go up to where the fuse box is, and then they connect in, because this wire clips right on the other side of the flasher. And then I'm not real sure what happens to the other stuff. So I'm going to feed that around. I've got to go around the other side. Then what I need to do, I really want to figure out how to feed my fuel line up under here so that it is not out in the open. It should go up underneath the same place as these wires. So I'm contemplating making a steel line to clamp in there. But I don't know. Maybe the rubber line is just as good. All it can do is get pinched flat and never ever work. So, you know, what's the harm in that? Okay. Is that in there? Not really. I really need to open the hood, which you are sitting on, as well as the rest of my garbage. So I'm going to do a quick stuff delete, and hopefully I can get the hood open. You can ride along, I don't care. Ride along. Let's do that. That's not appropriate, but it'll work to get you where we need to go. Now, is that going to interfere with throttle? Kind of it is. Can we go underneath it? That would be the better thing to do. Right, like that. There is a channel, as we saw in that other tractor, that's supposed to go from here to here. And I think I found one, new old stock, so when that gets here, we can clip our stuff out of our way. But until then, it should ride. Now, our spout will be here, but I'm thinking that I'm going to refeed my hose to where it's inside of the, I don't know. This may be the big mistake, but we're going to do it anyway. All we can do is totally destroy this thing, burn it to the ground, and ruin it after all we've done for it, you know. I really feel like rubber line is not the way to go here, but I don't really know, short of bending up a special steel line. I'd almost rather do that, but I don't know. I don't know what the solution is, if that's what I want or not. This needs to go there. That would be an excellent place to rub a hole in a fuel tank, right there. So I don't like that at all. I'm just worried that this rubber is going to get mashed flat at some point in its career, and it's going to shut us down someday, and I don't want that. I don't know, folks. I don't know what we want to do. I might look and see if I have some 5/16 steel line and bend us up something that comes through here in some fashion. Because we know the fuel tank's going to sit here, there, and there. I just don't know what to do. I mean, we could always probably get the steel line in there without taking everything loose. Worst case maybe would be dash pieces. Loosen this to where I can get underneath. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't like steel or rubber line, but I don't know what else to do for now. Lay the electrical on it so that it burns a hole in it. Sounds like a plan. Alright, 5/16 steel line was on my list of stuff to get, and I forgot it a while ago. So that leaves me down to, I've got some remnants of line. I've got a used line. I don't know that that's what I want to do either. That's not long enough really for what I envisioned. Because you kind of want this for the heat resistance. And you kind of want it to look nice. At least I do. And you kind of want it to not be plugged up like this one is. So that ain't going to work. See if we cut the end off, if that solves our... Okay, sure. Fall over. We'll get you. Just a matter of doing everything the most difficult way possible. Umständlich. We can do that. Okay, this piece of line will work. However, thinking about it now, if I were to go any way, I think I would still want to come out here instead of go alongside the block as quick as possible, just so I didn't have a lot of heat problems. Not that that would be a thing. The original was wedged in there, the original tractor we went and saw, but I'm thinking that we're going to come out. I think we'll just use this end first. Do we want to do that? No. Let's straighten what we got here. We can do that. Okay. Now, if we were to bend it about right, like so, we want that to be the middle of our bend. To test this out, let's pull this line out. And this is where we'll possibly ruin everything, and then have to wait till another day to get supplies. But I'm thinking once we wrap it with something, I don't know where I want to put this wire. It really needs to get on top of this. It really needs to do it like this. It really needs to go. This needs to go under it here, over it there. It'll lay in there. It'll come out here. I think I like this for now, even though this may not end up to being a final using thing. I may decide later I don't like it, swap it out, but I think once I get that laid in there, it's going to get our fuel line to a place that's not it's not going to be in the heat. It's going to be out in the open. I don't know. I probably should have just went all the way along the block. There we go. There's part one. That'll lay in there like that. Then we should probably have a strip along here. And that'll probably amount to the rest of this piece. Just so that it doesn't ride on, rub a hole in anything. So we will figure something out here. Alright, so here's what I've come up with. I stuck 4 pieces down here with way too much weather strip adhesive. And I'm thinking about laying this piece in just for peace of mind. I don't know that it's going to actually rub on those, but when it gets pulled down tight, probably would be better to have something there instead of a piece of metal jammed right into it. I'm going to try to set the tank back in and see what happens. I don't know. We'll find out. Okay, I think we got that the way we want it, and we can tighten it down. I got everything where I don't think anything's pinching. Our fuel thing is tucked in there. We got our wires hanging below. That's the last. We need to hook that safety switch up at some point. The ground wire, this will end up going up here into the dash as such. We got our strap somewhat hooked in. I probably should put some of that webbing under it too. What else? We get this down. I think we gotta. I just don't know. I don't know what's the appropriate way, but I got this tucked in there, and then it kind of puts the line out here in the open, which I like better. So we're gonna go with that. I'm also wearing a fair amount of that weather strip adhesive, so that's nice. I think I'll cut a strip and lay it over top of the fuel tank, and then we'll tighten this clamp down, and then we'll see about putting this last piece of sheet metal on that goes over top. We do need to put our 2 return lines back on wherever the second one went. There it is. And we also need to take note of I don't remember where our wires fell in that assortment. We'll figure that out in a minute. I think I want to do the strap first, and then I will fool with the rest of it. I'm just going to lay a strip across. Is it right? Who knows? One thing I know is the scissors are not here. Oh. Okay. Well, that was much more difficult than it needed to be. Alright. Do we want to stick down to this? Probably not. It doesn't need it. I cut that too long. Okay, a little shorter. Scissors were broke now. That's the last cut they'll make. You've done your job. Scissors. Okay. Can we do this in such a way where this will hold in? Nope. Okay, now the ideal thing to do would be to just get a socket and let that eat. But I need a deep well socket, really, probably, sort of. And I probably need a metric socket. So do you think I'm going to do either one of those? No. I'm going to use an 11/16. And I'll go get a wrench. Or better yet, well, no, I'll get a wrench. I'll be nice to it. Will this go? Probably not. It'll probably pull out of the other side right at the time progress is being made. Because that's how life rolls. Okay, so now it probably will not be long enough see here. Kind of over it. 1365. I'm kind of over that we're not making progress here. Now, it's going to do the same thing again because we don't learn. And like I said, deep well socket, that should have been order number 1. Didn't do that. Can we switch sides? We're probably going to make a mess. I think that's all she wrote on that. That did not tighten up like I suspected that it would. I wonder why. Oh, now I've done messed up something else here. Well, it feels like it's taut. It's not tight, but it's taut. I feel like there's really not much more I could do there. Even if I got a longer bolt or put a washer on there, I'd have to grind some off of this to get it much more. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. So maybe we'll just leave it. I think we'll just leave it. See, though, that's where it wants to go. Maybe we'll take it loose. So stupid. And try to put a bushing or something on it. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, let's see what we can find here. See, this is all gonna fall away now. Everything is working just as we would hope. Sure, fall out of there, great. Let's try 3. Why is it not working? I don't know. Maybe there was supposed to be a lot more webbing or thickness that they figured in. Maybe I'm doing something horribly wrong. I don't think I am. But I am not a Fiat mechanic, so I'm starting to doubt whether I'm a mechanic at all. No. It's gonna play a game that I don't like, which is called How Inconvenient Can We Make This For You? Yeah, I'm afraid that we're going to not have this right. Let's get it started first. And then in a second, we will switch to an American fastener, because I'm over this. I think I done messed up this Italian bolt. There. I don't know what's happening here. Okay, the back side's hooked. This side's hooked. It's got a notch in the tank, or it's got a place that it wants to be, naturally. And let's try it again. It jumped out again. God dang it. This is getting frustrating. Here we go. Try again. Man, it's not wanting to play a nice way with me. Which is a shame, because I saved it from the scrapyard. And it is deciding to treat me in a disrespectful fashion, which I do not appreciate. Now, can you please tighten up? That's all she wrote right there. So, if that ain't tight enough, then I don't know what to tell you. That's all she's got. Now, addressing this wire. I need more of my loom again, which is now on the opposite side of everywhere. Because I don't want this sharpness from this old loom over top of my wires. So I'm going to try this to start with. I'm going to try this. I like how you don't know what's happening, but that's fine. You don't need to know. I know more than what you can see. And I'm telling you, it's fine. It's just fine. Do not fret. Alright. We're going to slide this on. Split loom ain't the grandest thing in the world, but it's better than nothing. So, we're going to go with it. Okay. Little Fiat. Come on, buddy boy. I'm not sure, wiring, where I want you. But I know one thing. You're fighting me all the way. I wouldn't expect any less. Oh, let's just do the most difficult thing. Then we don't have to worry about anything. Alright. Now I'm going to put another layer of this tape right where this clamp goes. Stupid, yes, but there. Look at that sweet thing. Okay, now this one is going to go right there. As such. And this other one, which we lost the clamp to, somewhere down in there. Like this. Underneath, I think. And our wiring has left us again. But that's okay. We're not going to freak out. It's under a heck of a bind or a pull right now because of the dash being all wonky. But I just don't know what I did with my screwdriver again. Must have laid it over on the other floor. Ouch. Okay. Alright, hopefully this is the final tightening of this. I hope so. We're not even going to get to the good stuff on the tape. The battery's going to die. It's hard to believe that you can spend an hour plus on something that should be so simple. I also need to check. I did turn the fuel back on, but I bet you what's going to happen is it's going to end up sucking air and dying. And it won't stay running, and we'll work and work and work to keep it going. Because that's how we do things. Final dash piece. Engage. I need to open the hood to get it on. Which means we need to clean our flat surface. And by clean, I mean we're going to shove it to the side. We're going to put stuff on other parts of the flat surface so that we have to move it a third and fourth time. because that's how it goes. Sure, let's not pick it up correctly. Let's just shove everything everywhere when we have to clean it later. Yeah, you're not going to hold out long enough, as there's only 4% left. But it was a nice ride while we tried it. Alright. I'll put that in here for now, even though nothing's tight. Gotta get our bolts out, which I cleaned the threaded holes out, so everything should come out simply. As always, thank you for watching, and if you haven't already, click the subscribe button. That way you'll be notified when more stuff comes out. Leave a comment, hit the thumbs up, say you like it, say you don't like it. Anything you do helps promote this channel, and we could keep making more Oliver themed videos. So, as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.